Hey friends, and welcome back to the channel. My name's Megan and this here is McColl. She is one of our breeding does. Today she's going to be my little helper on this video as we go through and show you how to check and see if your doe is pregnant or not. Now a doe's gestation is usually on average 31 days, but they can go anywhere from day 28 to day 35. We've even had one go to day 41 before, but that is like almost unheard of, very rare occurrence. Now the chickens are free ranging back here behind me, so hopefully they do not interrupt this video, but if you hear them and hear things behind me, that is what's going on. Miss McColl, we are going to find out today if you are pregnant or not. I'm hoping she is pregnant. She is a mom to a litter that is 5 weeks old right now. We breed our does back when their kits are 3 weeks old, and we wean our kits at 6 weeks old. So her kits have one more week with her, and that we will move them out. She will have a week to herself before her next litter is due, hopefully. But we're going to find out today if she's pregnant. Now, to check your rabbits for pregnancy, it really depends on the method that you're using to be able to determine when you should check. So there's 4 ways you can check your rabbits. The first way is going to be by ultrasound, and at that you can check anywhere past 10 days and up to see if your rabbit's pregnant. It should be easy to see. Ultrasound is not a method we have here on our homestead. I would love to have a rabbit ultrasound machine or a small animal ultrasound machine, one I could use on my goats or something like that. That would be fantastic. But they're expensive and we are not there. Now for a commercial rabbitry or a rabbitry who breeds expensive show rabbits or something like that, I could see where that would come in handy. Little guy, shh. I could see where something like that would come in handy and maybe worth the expense, but for us at this point it is just not something we can do. The next way you can check your rabbits is not one that we do either on our homestead, but it is one that others do and have great success with, and that is to test breed your rabbits. So you want to do this one at day 14 and up. At day 14 and up, your rabbits is heavily pregnant. So that's about halfway through her gestation. So she is heavily pregnant. She is hormonal. Those hormones are going through her. In rabbits, they are meant to breed, and once they're bred, they are done with the males. So if you put her with a buck and she's growling and gruff and doesn't want to breed, that's a good sign that she is pregnant. If she easily hops in there and breeds right away, there's a good chance she did not take the first time around. You should go ahead and put the nest box in on her original due date and on the second due date from where she just bred, just to cover your bases, because some pregnant rabbits do get hormonal in certain ways and may have just been in the mood. It's not common that happens, but it can happen. And then your rabbit could be due at either point, and so it becomes a little bit of a guessing game of when you're going to have kids. So we don't use that here on our homestead just because a rabbit's gestation is so short that the extra 2 weeks is not going to make much of a difference for us. Now in the future, when we have a bigger rabbitry and we're leaning more to a commercial side of things, I may feel differently, but in this current stage it's just not happening for us. Right, girl? So the third way you can test to see if your rabbit is pregnant is to weigh them. Now for our mature adult rabbits, I like to use a 5-gallon bucket and a fish scale. So to do this process, what you're going to do is you are going to take your fish scale, put your bucket on there, and go ahead and tear that weight out so that it is a zeroed amount with the bucket on there. Then place your rabbit into the bucket, and whatever weight is on your scale is then what your rabbit weighs, because you've already removed the bucket weight at this point. So that will tell you what your rabbit weighs. So if you're going to do the weighing method, you want to weigh them the day you breed them and then 14 days later and compare the 2 weights. Now if she's only carrying a few kits, it's not going to be that much of a weight shift. If she's got a large litter, it's going to be more obvious to see. If she gains 4 ounces or more, we're going to go ahead and call her bred. But if there's not a significant weight gain, I don't go ahead and discount my rabbits. I actually don't discount them being pregnant until they hit 40 days and I don't have any kids. Now we did have that one that was 41 days, but I had completely discounted that she was pregnant until I found kits. So, you know, it happens. But it doesn't happen often enough that I make it a rule to go by. So 40 days, no kits means they weren't bred. Regardless of what any of these methods say, I go ahead and count my rabbits as pregnant. It's just fun to check and see if I can tell if they're pregnant or not. We have covered ultrasound, we have covered test breeding, and we have covered weighing rabbits. The fourth way to check and see if your rabbit is pregnant is probably the most definite after ultrasound. Ultrasound is always going to be the key, but after ultrasound, palpating your rabbits is going to be a great way to determine if they are pregnant or not. Now, palpating is the one pregnancy check method that I recommend doing before 14 days. 10 to 14 days is really best. We're at day 15 with her because I kind of got sidetracked. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for me to tell just because the belly is already starting to swell like a pregnant woman's belly does as she gets later on in her trimesters. At 14 days, she is almost halfway through her pregnancy. So it's, you know, the equivalent of somebody being like 5 months pregnant. The belly is starting to swell and get harder. And so it can be more difficult to fill the individual kits than if you were to do it a little bit earlier. But it's okay. We're still going to do it, and I'm going to show you how to do it, but start at 10 days, and you can even do it every day. 10 days, 11 days, 12 days, 13 days, 14 days, and see how it feels, and kind of second guess yourself some, because I do that anyways. Now, it's important to start when you do this at her backside, because if you're trying to palpate up here at the front, all you're going to feel is her poop. Her intestines are up here, her stomach is up here, the poop and stuff is up here because the kits are down here and they're pushing all of that up. So if you're palpating too far up, all you're going to feel is poop balls. To me, the kits do kind of feel like poop balls, a little bit bigger but squishier. They're not hard balls of poop like you would feel if you were too high up. When you go to palpate, take your hands under your rabbit. Mama, can we show them? Take your hands under your rabbit like this. Start right here at her groin, right on the inside of her legs. And you're feeling it. And you're feeling her like this, a rubbing motion slowly as you move up. You're squeezing gently but firmly to see what you feel. So I'm inside. I'm squeezing my fingers together gently but firmly. Move it up each time, and right there I can feel kits. There's one on each side, it feels like, so I'm happy with that. I go up a little bit past her front kneecap right here. So right there, I can feel one. Yeah, and up here we're getting into her stomach and intestines. It's very, very like squishy up here. Back here it's more like a water balloon. So she's not so far into her pregnancy that it's like hard, but it does feel kind of like a water balloon with small miniature grapes in there. And all I'm doing is squeezing my fingers together, making that squeezing motion firmly but gently. Now I'm not going to be able to feel in this way because when you hold her up, her babies fall back here instead of being up front. So when she's on her, sorry baby, when she's laying like this, see how her belly hangs down? That kind of helps you to feel those kits. So what I'm doing under the table is I've got my hand on each side, on the inside of her legs, and I'm squeezing and rolling my fingers together. Move up, squeeze, rolling your fingers together. Squeeze, rolling your fingers together. That's all you do. And I usually do it 2 or 3 times before I'm satisfied that I have felt, I can feel that kit right there, that I have felt everything I need to feel. But her uterus is back here, and rabbits have like a uterus with horns. So the horns come up, and those are where your kits are. So her kits are like on each side. So when you put your hands on there and you're squeezing together, you can feel the lumps in between your fingers. So that's what you're checking for. So you put your hand and squeeze and roll your fingers together. Squeeze, roll your fingers together. You're not hurting them. Don't like squeeze her so that her guts come out or anything, you know, just gentle, firm pressure. Good job, Mama. Yeah, you're such a good girl. So now as far as Manali here is concerned, I am going to go ahead and call her bred. I fortunately did feel what I think are kits when palpating. So we're going to call her bred. Expect to see kits from her again in another, let's see, you're on day 15, another 16 days, so just over 2 weeks. Okay, so we're back here at Moretta's rabbit tractor. She is our black New Zealand. She is also hopefully bred. Now, she has started demonstrating different behavioral changes where she is acting extremely feisty, getting very feisty over food, kind of growling at me, reaching up like she's going to scratch me. She's not, she has scratched me, but she's not like trying to bite or anything like where she's super aggressive. She's just a little spicy, we'll say. She is one of our feistier rabbits and is easy to get aggravated, but her being feisty and spicy out of nowhere, it's not normal for her. Things like that can happen when they're pregnant, so I'm hoping she is bred. I'm going to attempt to palpate her. With a feisty rabbit, I always recommend that you wear sleeves. Any of your rabbits, really, it's good to wear sleeves because they will tear your arms to shreds. So sleeves help. If you have an aggressive rabbit, I would even wear gloves. We don't have any rabbits that require gloves on our homestead. If I had a rabbit that required gloves that like to bite or something, they would be gone. We don't keep aggressive animals on our homestead. So I am going to try to palpate her. I don't know how well this is going to work. We will have to see what mood she's in today, but hopefully I can get a good feel on her. She is day 14 because she did not breed the same day that Manali did. So hopefully I can actually feel a little better on her, a little easier. We'll see how she goes. So I've got her and she is very large. So I've got her head under my arm to keep her calm. Now I'm not going to set her down, even though it's easier to feel that way, just because she is a little feisty. She is a little jumpy right now. And, whew, yeah, she's not trying to claw me or anything, so we'll go with it. But I'm just going to give her a minute to calm down, and then we'll try to see if we can palpate. A big old black ball of fluff. Okay, so I've got my hand under her. Just like with Manali, I start at the back and give her a second, let the kits fall into my hand. And then gently, I roll my fingers together and feel as I move up. Pretty sure that's a kit right there. Sometimes closing my eyes helps me visualize what I'm feeling. Girl, you did scratch me. Should have buttoned up my shirt. You know what? No, I'm not feeling anything. I don't know what I felt a minute ago, but I don't think she's pregnant. She missed on her last breeding also. So she missed on this one. Then she's done as a breeder for us. We breed on a 3 strikes you're out. So the first time we bred her, her kits were small. That's a strike against her. They stayed small. They never got big. And then she missed the breeding, so she missed this one. That's her 3rd strike. She'll be done as a breeder. All it feels like is a like a water balloon full of pudding. Not feel. I don't think she's pregnant. Oh wait, hold on. I thought I just felt something. Oh, wait, never mind. She may have a baby. Right there. So that's twice I've kind of questioned whether I felt a kit in her. If I have, I only felt one. So we're still going to count her as bred. I'm not sure if she missed or not, but I will update y'all along the way. Hopefully she didn't. Because she is a big, beautiful rabbit. And I would love kits from her that grew big and beautiful as well. You know what I'm talking about, girlfriend? Thanks for coming along this journey with me. I hope you feel more confident in checking your rabbits for pregnancy and seeing how it's done, how you can check your rabbits, things like that. If you check your rabbits for pregnancy, leave in the comments down below what method you use to check your rabbits for pregnancy. I would love to know more about that. That's all we have for you today, friends. So until next time, bye. We will see you later.